Hello everyone, welcome to Fablehaven Age of Wonders 4. The 4th dev diary for Archon Prophecy has arrived, and it's what we've all been waiting for. The big heavy hitters of the new tomes. So, with Age of Wonders 3 music in the background, let's hop right in. Hello again, my name is Luis, Senior Designer at Triumph Studios, and as promised this week, I will be telling you about the Tome of the Revenant and the Tome of the Archon, which are new Tier 4 tomes in the Archon Prophecy expansion coming out on the 12th of August. They look incredible. The Tome of the Archon, a pure order tome. The Tome of the Archon is a pure order Tier 4 tome whose spells evoke archonic magic of purity and rebirth. Through its powers, you will be able to feel the mighty Titan and summon the ancient Astra to smite your enemies. I was almost convinced this was going to be a Tier 5 tome. Not going to lie. But let's take a look at the new endgame units. We've been lacking a few of these. The transmuter from the last DLC was pretty cool. But for the most part, they've been kind of mid-game units. And now we're getting Tier 4s and 5s. The Titan is an Archon Tier 4 mythic of tremendous power, and with the capability to redeem the souls of its enemies. Its Sunburst ability deals fire and radiant damage, burns and blinds in an area, mend the weak, heals as a free action, with its effect doubled when cast on units close to death. Its Rite of Atonement ability makes it so that upon killing an enemy, their soul reforms and transforms into a Tier 1 Lesser Light Spirit, a new support elemental unit of Order Affinity added in the free patch coming together with this expansion. If they survive until the end of battle, you can purchase them for a mana cost as their Tier 3 evolved form, the Light Spirit. The Titan is unlocked for draft in the city with the construction of the tome's Archon Gate, which serves as a teleporter special province improvement that grants high stability to the city. Wow. Okay. Alrighty. It has Zeal. Is it built-in Zeal? It has to be, right? Because it's a mythical unit. So it wouldn't be affected by enchantments or anything. Okay. Siegebreaker. There's the Rite of Atonements. Unstoppable Juggernaut. Not too shabby. Control loss immunity, of course, that's a mythic unit. And Heavy Charge Strike. 999. 9999999. Alrighty. The Archon Gate there just comes with the tome. Nice. Looking very strong. And here is the Tier 5 Astra. This was teased briefly in an earlier dev diary. And here she is in all her glory. The Astra is a summonable Tier 5 mythic unit. It is a leader among the Archons, its archonic leadership granting all celestial units in the army with power and protection. By the way, angels fall under the celestial unit tag. I was pondering about that in the previous episode. So there's no new unit tag for angels. It's just there's a new classification of celestial, I guess. Wielding a fiery sword, it burns and condemns those who oppose it. Divine Sundering, a 2-hex cone, single action ability, then can be used to deal extra damage to any condemned unit, as well as sundering the defenses of those hit. 25-25. Take that, Shrine of Smiting. It also has 2 protective abilities in the form of Angelic Grace and Holy Aura. Angelic Grace? Holy Aura. The first is a support ability that heals and grants a stack of Grace to all friendly units in a 2-hex radius. Holy Aura is a passive halo around the unit that protects friendly units from status effects and damages adjacent enemies with spirit damage. Alright. So you just go Order Tome and then, what's that thing called? The Holy Champion or something? It gets a single target like 100% bonus damage and 5 defense and 5 resistance, and you just throw this into the middle of everything. I have an idea. Alrighty, not too shabby. Grace is so annoying when it's played with well. Oh boy. It's large, right, this creature? We can shank it. Ooh, hello. Is this one of the paladins? I have a conspiracy theory. It's not really a conspiracy. I have a theory, a game theory, about the new forms, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. We're focused on the tomes right now. The unit enchantment, Holy Aura, grants a part of the Astra's power to your melee units, giving them the same effect of protection to friendly units and damage to your foes. Oh! Oh. Brick beneath the endless tide. Okay. That's her passive. That is going to be disgusting, I think. Unit enchantment. So there's an enchantment that's part of this that gives her passive to all of your units. Yep, right there. All right. Yep. The bard build is in process. Another one. The Tome provides a minor transformation, Pure Soul. The transformation gives your unit some self-purification capabilities, cleansing negative status effects at the start of the turn, and if the negative status effect removed has a counter effect that is positive, this unit will gain a stack of it. For example, if a unit with this transformation is slowed, at the start of its turn, it would be removed and would gain haste in its place. Yeah. This effect, the ability to remove self-cleanse yourself, was so powerful with the Umbral demons, the Umbral Fiends, that they had to nerf it, where it wouldn't work if the Umbral Fiend was on fire. I suspect something similar may occur here. I'm not sure what it would be, though. Man, that is crazy. Other spells and unlocks. Celestial Guardians targets a friendly army on the world map and grants their stack leader a buff. Adds 2 extra Archon Celestial Tier 3 units at the next combat they join. Alright. Ascended Rebirth brings back the spirit of a fallen friendly unit back to combat in the form of a Vigil, a Tier 3 Battle Mage. It also heals all friendly units in a large radius for 20 hit points. Question. Does this work on summoned units that have perished? Because summoned units that expire disappear from the map, right? But if they perish, they leave a body? Maybe they don't anymore. Well, this seems good. Not sure how relevant Ascended Rebirth will really be. Unless you get to keep the Vigil, that could be good. Because all in all, if you're going order, you get Mass Resurrection, right? So you'd want to resurrect a unit if something dies in combat, really. This seems incredibly powerful. This seems so obscenely strong. It does play in... It's not just... I mean, it could just be strong on its own. But I feel like this does play into the order schema. Because it has benefits with Zeal and Condemn and whatnot. But, man, that seems good. Now what we're all here for. The Tome of the Revenant. Tier 4. Order Shadow. The Tome of the Revenant is a Shadow and Order Affinity Tier 4 tome that gives you access to Revenant units. Archons that became corrupted and have risen as undead. There's 2 new units here. The Undead Titan and the Fallen Angel. My goat. So here's the Undead Titan. Looks pretty cool. Nice sword. I want to get this sword. So he also has Heavy Charge, Dread Burst, Conjure Skeleton. Okay. The corrupted version of the Titan, the Undead Titan, is in many ways an opposite to its celestial version. The Dread Burst ability, a corrupted version of the Titan's Sunburst, inflicts remorse and decaying. Additionally, the Undead Titan possesses 2 skeleton summon abilities. Conjure Skeleton is a low cooldown free cast ability that summons a singular skeleton, and its pass ability, the Rite of Undeath, further bolsters Undead's ranks by converting any unit it slays into a skeleton. Age of Wonders 3 music is going hard now because it knows what's coming. But stay focused. Oh, by the way, 6'5". Not too shabby. This unit can be accessed by building a special province improvement, the Necropolis. This improvement grants the drafting of the Undead Titan, all the Tier 1 skeleton units, and the Corrupt Soul. It additionally provides a soul income to your city to help fuel this tome's units and spells. Before we get to my boy... Okay. Dealing frost and order damage is quite unique, isn't it? Very nice. But here's what I'm here for. The Fallen Angel. Now, the Fallen Angel in Age of Wonders 3, the reason why I was inspired to play this music, as far as I'm aware, I could be mistaken, is the only unit that naturally has greater lifesteal. In Age of Wonders 3, you could combine forms of lifesteal to create greater lifesteal. But the Fallen Angel just had it by default. Of course, the Fallen Angel in Age of Wonders 4 looks a bit different. He appears to be a battle mage of some sort. And let's see what he does, shall we? The Fallen Angel is a summonable Tier 5 unit in the Tome of the Revenant. This corrupt angel has access to powerful magics, the Ray of Corruption, a long and wide beam attack of Revenant magic that weakens, demoralizes, and then replenishes the health of the Fallen Angel. Boom. We're back. Dark Temptation reveals hidden knowledge to enemy units in an attempt to convert and dominate them to the Angel's side. That's a little vague, but it's really just a roll for domination. It also appears to be a free action as well. Armor of Despair. Dark Rites. My, oh my. Okay. Alrighty. And here's a skeleton with a dark halo of some kind. Undead Resentment is a unit enchantment that uses the Revenant's past arcanic knowledge to grant all undead units protection from the Archon's radiant fire. This enchantment increases spirit and fire resistance and also grants the Vicious Killer, meaning your units are better at demoralizing their foes in battle. This comes at the cost of souls for each enchanted unit, so make sure your economy can handle it. Ooh. Okay, so of course, the greatest weakness of undead units is Radiant and Fire. So this is aiming to kind of counter the natural weakness of the undead. Very cool. Vicious Killer, of course, just it's a 50% increase, I think, to morale damage when you kill something. Maybe units will actually run away now. Other spells and unlocks. The spell Unholy Champion is a combat buff that greatly bolsters a unit damage, grants them Undying, reviving them after 2 turns of being dead in combat, and Armor of Despair, which grants defensive stats against the attacks of demoralized units. Oh, I thought that demoralized on attack. Interesting. Okay. This ties to our other spell in the tome, a world map spell called Revenant Whispers. When cast on an enemy army, these enemies become demoralized, and any combat initiated against them will summon 3 skeletons empowered with the effects of Unholy Champion on the side of the attacker. Wow. Both world map spells are incredibly good. To further boost your undead, the Chamber of the Right is a city structure that makes all undead units produced in a city gain natural regeneration, increasing their regeneration both in the world map and in combat. Yep. I had a lot of fun designing and testing these tomes and hope you get to enjoy them when the Archon Prophecy expansion comes out on the 12th of August. Look forward to next week when we will have Alex telling us about the art of the Archon Prophecy expansion. All right. Wow. These are even stronger. I just briefly scrolled through it and saw the Fallen Angel, got really excited, turned on the Age of Wonders 3 music, and just went from there. But my goodness, these are very, very powerful. These are worthy of being Tier 5 tomes. I wonder what the devs think of making more Tier 5 tomes. Because the Tier 5 tomes are kind of odd to me, in that I think they're obviously the apex of their affinity, but they all seem to kind of be kind of like the cherry on top of what you're trying to build through the affinity, and not by themselves just ridiculously strong. I mean, except for a few standalone spells, like, of course, Wave of Disruption from Archmage, and Demonic Assault from the Tome of the Archfiend. Interesting. All right, time for conspiracies. Look at these characters. These are the Elysians. Part of the one of the 2 new race forms. But do these look different from humans or elves or something? My conspiracy. Look how human these are. We've only seen Elysians or Ancients that have forms already in the game. Humans, elves, and we even saw like an orc ancient. What if Elysian and Ancients aren't coming with their own like actual form, and you just put them on a pre-existing form? Any race can be Elysian, or any race can be Ancient. That would be cool. Of course, that mechanic is already in the game. It's just not very... It has, 6 forms? Human, elf, dwarf. Does it have a goblin form? An orc? Maybe halfling? I don't know. I thought that'd be really cool. Just a conspiracy I was thinking while dreaming the dream of Forgotten Mulkin. But anyway, this was the part 2 for the tomes. We are getting some massive heavy hitters, and I am very excited for the alteration to the end game, which is, I don't want to say stale, but, it's become a little predictable. I bet these are going to be more impactful than the Iron Juggernaut from Empires and Ashes. Let me guess. But thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Feel free to share what schemes you want to concoct or want to see with the Tome of the Archon and the Tome of the Revenant. Thank you to the patrons and the channel members who support the channel. I greatly appreciate you. If you would like to stay up to date with anything happening on the channel, feel free to join the description down below, and I will see you next week for some looking at pretty pictures.